what they say? You've got people you've got investigators, and then you've got these editors, and you just hired another group that's none of them to watch over them, to investigate them, and make sure that they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, not biasing the news. So basically what we've got there is somebody that's watching over the whole process and getting the news disseminated the way it's supposed to be, and watched and examined by this, what we call them, the police group. Well, so then, just to give you an idea how serious they are about it, then they say the news group and the second policing group will also be watched and examined by a third group you hire to make sure they are following the rules and all that it should be. You can understand why this has to be. The overchargers will do their very best to get into the People's Trust news, and we cannot allow that to happen. As you see what the investigators can do, you will want them to be able to investigate anything and everything. As the concept of public trust laws takes hold, our investigators will have the authority to investigate anything. That means everything, including top secret items. We will allow the people in our government to decide what is top. That means everything, including top secret items. We allow at this time the people in our government to decide what is top secret, and look at what they've done. Maybe you don't know, but there are things that are top secret that have nothing to do with national security. They're basically top secret so that we, the common people, don't know what the government, is doing. So what they say is, in this case, very special people who we know will not let leak anything that has to be kept top secret will be hired as reporters. The difference is they're hired by us, and the government employee is hired by the government. These People's Trust news reporters are hired by us. Basically, they're set up so that they can go in and look at anything, top secret or not, and there will be no hiding of anything from us unless it absolutely has to be hidden because of national security. And the deal there is that the reporters and the federal judge both agree that this has to be kept from the public. Now, this is the place where we should have been watching all along, and we haven't been. We have government employees that are hired, and somebody up there, some general or, we don't know who, somebody up there makes the decision this has got to be top secret. And nobody checks. Nobody says, why does this have to be top secret? Well, it's for national security. Baloney, and who's looking at it and seeing that it's true? So we have hired reporters that are allowed to see top secret information, and those same people that are allowed, that they're also hired by us, and they're also very respected people, and they're also certainly allowed to see the top secret information. And you understand also that they have a tremendous amount to lose if they leak things that would hurt our country, that should have been top secret, and they leaked them because of the public trust laws that are in effect at this time, which we discussed and will discuss. And these people have a tremendous amount to lose in terms of their job and everything, because they got caught letting out national secrets. Well, it isn't very hard to figure out that if you got two other groups watching you, that you're not going to get away with anything. And so you have these people that you trust the most, and they can access any top secret information, and they can go to a judge and say this needs to be top secret, and the judge has to agree. And if it isn't, if the judge doesn't agree or they don't agree, then it can't be top secret because it has nothing to do with the security of our nation. It has something to do with hiding stuff. And so basically they become the top investigators of any process, and they're able to go in and investigate anything that happens, airplane crashes, things that we suspect are fishy. They can go in immediately and take over the investigation the second it's safe to do so. There is no federal anything or anyone to get in the way of their investigation at any point in the process. A federal judge will be required to get anything, and they say anything capitalized, listed as top secret. Most, if not all, the present top secret items are only classified as such so that we, the people, will not find out is what they are doing, not for security reasons, just like I said. What will happen then? You will finally get the real news, and everything will change because you will not be able to put up with all this stuff anymore. You will know what's truly happening, not what the overchargers want you to think is happening. Just stop for a moment and think what your life would be like if you get the truth from your investigators. These news investigators will know they are being watched all the time. The news compilers, organizers, editors will follow the unbiased rules, and will be watching them. Now they've gone from the news investigators to the editors who give you the news, and now they're going to go to the unbiased rules these editors have to follow to show you how serious they think it is. They're getting right down into the workings of this People's Trust News thing. But the problem is biasness, and what they're going to give you is a few rules for understanding what it is you can do and shouldn't do. And the reason for that is that they absolutely want no bias in this news that is being given to you. So they go into the rules of unbiased reporting. Rule 1, only provable facts can be reported as facts. 3 different reliable sources must be found before it can be considered provable. Only provable facts can be reported. This is a fact. If it isn't provable by 3 different sources, don't say that it's a fact. Rule 2, if it cannot qualify as a fact, if it doesn't have 3 different reliable sources, then it must be presented as a possible, and a possible must be called that, and equally strong argument for both sides must be given. So if you can't prove it as a fact, but you think it might be a fact, then you have to say it isn't a fact, but it could be a fact. And somebody who knows the other side of this possible fact is there to say, no, that's not what happened. And they give equal time and just as strong an argument, which is certainly different. If it is a possibility and not a fact, both sides are given a coin. They get to flip a coin. What is it? What are you saying? They're saying that you can't have this side always be first. You have a possibility, this is possibly what happened, and the other guy says, no, that's not what happened. Okay, who goes first? They flip a coin. Fairly, by the way. Okay, so now you don't always have this is possibly true being the first one. Sometimes this possibly is not true, could be the first. Rule 4, if there is an instance where no other side is available, then it must be reported as such, and when and if the other side becomes available, it must be given the same amount of time in the same time slot. What did they say? There's nobody to argue with the possibility. We don't know that it's a fact, but there's nobody here to argue the other side. So we're going to report this as a possibility, and there's nobody going to argue with us. What's Rule 4? To keep the unbiasedness out of it, they say, if the other side comes up and has something to say, they're given the same amount of time in the same time slot to give their view. Not at the same time as this first possibility is reported, but at some point in time when this other side shows up, they get the same amount of time in the same time slot. See, unbiased. The concept of these rules is that the news must not be biased in any way, and investigators must make it so. Firing and even imprisonment must be used to maintain this unbiased level of reporting, because that is the whole point of people's trust news. The point is always trust.